right, bang bang. What's going, guys? Doing an exciting new edition, main event, Talkin Hands. So it's Emirates Prospectal. And my co-host, Mr. Danny Betts. We're breaking down this weekend's really exciting fight between Vergil Ortiz against Serhii Bohachuk. Before we get into that fight, we love to recap the week that was and the fight that was. It was a huge fight. We had Terrence Crawford taking on Israel Madrimov. Before we get into that fight, let me shout out the chat because we had a lot of good chat here. Shout out Dixon. Dixon joined the Patreon with Danny. Thanks for the Crawford decision. Shakur is a bum. I'm not going to knock you there. Bacoli, we'll touch on that fight, of course. Bacoli looked very good, knocking out Jared Big Baby Anderson. They're going to do everything for your excellency, Dixon. I felt like they went overboard with it. Pitbull did get lost, kind of a surprise loss there. Dixon with a nice little parlay. Shout out Danny. Dixon's going to give us a SGP. And our guy, Mario Barrios. Both fighters to be knocked down live in this one. Could happen. And shout you, winner circle. What's going on? Danny, I'll let you take the floor here. We kind of touched on backstage a little bit. Terrence Crawford did get the job done, wins a decision. Pretty much 7-5, 8-4. We waited till I felt like 3 a.m. for the fight, but we got the fight, and Terrence Crawford did get the job done. Danny, your thoughts on the fight and just everything in general?
Overall, the card was great. I liked it. Morrell, his performance was kind of just because like his opponent was just there to survive. It's kind of hard to fight those type of guys and look great because like they're there for a paycheck, but they're not trying to get knocked the fuck out either. So they're trying to survive and things like that. But couple upsets. I did have to call audible for that Pitbull fight. I was wrong on that. I had him by knockout around 5-8. And once I'm like, the only way he wins this fight, and that's what I was saying, he switched camps with Garcia. Venezuela did, and I'm like, if he stays on the outside, I'll box him because he ain't knocking him out. Pitbull.
I was gonna say Cruz looked really small in there too.
Dude, he's huge. Venezuela's huge, and that's the way I was kind of backtracking later in the week. I'm like, his chin is suspect, but that was at 135. Venezuela is gonna fill out better at 140. New training, let's see how. That's how I was thinking. I'm like, let me see how it goes. And then once I saw him taking his best shots, and it was like round 7 already, I'm like, he's gonna outbox the shit out of this guy pretty much. So I call him live at plus 175 for the decision, because Pitbull is so durable, dude. His head is he's a small dude, but his head's like fucking 25% of his body weight or whatever. But and then the Crawford fight, I was telling people, man, this shit. That's not going to be an easy fight. A lot of people didn't know who he was. You had a decision prop. I love the over, and his money line and the SGP. Plan B, like, for people that didn't, like, have that SGP option, I did say around 7-12, but that didn't even happen because, like, he's legit. My Drimov is legit, man. Crawford even said it. Like, he's strong. Dude's crafty. He's legit. So, he got it done. I agree with the 115, 113 around there. I thought he won. I know a couple people. It wasn't nothing crazy, but a couple people thought he lost. I didn't think so. It was a close fight, but I thought he got it done. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And yeah, Big Baby Anderson, that was another one I was looking at. I didn't bet that fight. I did throw him in a long shot parlay. But I noticed too that line did not move. It was minus 190, minus 200 for Anderson the whole time. And I thought I'm like, if he wins, he's gonna knock Anderson out because he still tends to like go back like this, even though he's been looking better lately. And I thought he was gonna be the more athletic, get away from the power punches and probably win a decision. But Cody, dude, those stories might be true, bro. Saying he's knocked out Fury and Usyk and all types of people in sparring. The dude has some quick ass hands for his size too. So. Yeah, overall, I love the card, but like you said, we had to wait till like 2 a.m. for the. This is what really pissed me off, bro. Do you remember they picked a random person out of the audience,
Yeah, for, like, driver
and he was sitting like way the fuck up there,
yeah.
and they did a fucking they were recording him doing his little ring walk. That took
Yeah.
like 20 minutes right there. And he's like, I'm like,
Yeah.
are you serious right now? Like, but if you think about it, like I know some people that were down there with the concert and stuff. When you're there, it's cool. Like you're getting your money's worth. You're like, oh, my
yeah,
god,
yeah.
I'm getting a legit concert with Eminem and then all this other shit. But us at home, we're like, okay, come on, like we're not there. We're trying to see these fights. It's a different perspective, but overall, I like the fights. Good underdogs. I'm pissed about the Andy Ruiz fight. Miller won that fucking fight. I'm not being biased. I had bet on Miller. I'm like, how is this a draw? Like, I don't understand, but whatever. I don't know if you saw that fight. What do you think?
Yeah, kind of what we were saying last week before the like the weigh-in. I want to see how Ruiz looked, because Ruiz did have a little bit of time where he was trying to like slim down and be all back at it, and yeah, he looked awful. Like he looked fucking horrible. He didn't throw any punches. He was getting hit a ton. I probably missed the beginning of the fight, so I saw the end, and I'm not saying Miller like looked great or anything, but yeah, I thought Miller should have got the decision.
Yeah.
Frog Nipples, interesting name.
This is funny.
Yeah, shout you. Thanks for hopping in.
Is there a backstory to that name, or should I even ask?
Yeah, quite the name. Yeah, no. Overall, I thought it was like a fine enough card. The Crawford fight, I wanted to see how he looked going up in weight, and I thought it was pretty funny because after the fight, even the guy Turkey was like, "No, we don't want the Canelo fight.
Yeah,
like I'm not doing the Canelo fight." Yeah,
that's gonna be too. How I put it? It's gonna be so high level, technical wise. It's gonna be a boring fight, I think, in my opinion.
I mean, like this fight was pretty tough too. They didn't really do much for a while. At the end, Crawford, I felt like was starting to get him and like hitting him clean more. But even then, he didn't really hit him, clean a lot during the fight, which is why I think people wanted to say Madrimov won the fight, or Eddie Hearn made that big BS. OG Xbox name, Frogs don't have. Okay. Learn something new. Learn something new all the time. Yeah, no, I thought Crawford looked fine. Like I said, moving up away, wanted to see how the power translated. And it just never got to like a firefight to where either guy really got hurt. Crawford, I will say, I said it before the Spence fight, which is why I thought Spence could have won. Crawford gets hit like every fight.
Yep.
So yeah, he's definitely got to caution himself before he moves up too high into weight. But what could happen, we'll see. This fight, 154, if we could get Crawford versus the winner of this upcoming fight, that would be quite the fight. Speaking of that, let's get right into it. This week we have Vergil Ortiz taking on Serhii Bohachuk. As always, we like to use mybookie.ag for our line. Current odds at mybookie.ag, promo code PUBSPORTS have Vergil Ortiz minus 310. Come back on Bohachuk plus 240. Round props. Betway has round props. They have it over under 9.5, juice to the under. Fight doesn't go the distance, minus 200. Bohachuk KO plus 450. Vergil KO minus 110. Every fight Vergil Ortiz has won and fought, he's gotten the KO. Danny, you think Vergil Ortiz keeps the streak going? Do we get a surprise upset here by Serhii Bohachuk?
I love this fight, man. Fellas, like in the chat, if you don't know much about these two guys, just tune in, man. This is gonna be a banger. I'll be super surprised, knock on wood, if this fight is not a banger. Like, yes, the styles, like these guys are in there to throw hands. I mean, Bohachuk, man, shout out to him because he cashed me. He's got a lot of knockouts. Obviously, he didn't have no decisions, but his last fight, I basically had two bets. He was fighting Brian Mendoza, and Mendoza, we know him from the big upset against Fandora, knocked him out. One thing I know about Mendoza is he's tough as hell. Like, he's never been knocked down. And I saw that decision prop at like 350 or almost 400. And I had to bet it because I thought he could survive. And like I told you, man, that guy, Bohachuk broke his jaw. Like, Mendoza's like, all this was swollen. And he was still fighting for the whole 12 rounds. Like, he actually buzzed him a little bit. Mendoza buzzed him a little bit, like round 10 or 11, I think it was. And Bohachuk's just there, there was a lot of volume. In the beginning, he tends to like start a little bit slow just to work himself in. And yeah, the dude's got power, a lot of volume. Great like fighter to watch overall. He does have a loss. He got knocked out against Brandon Adames. He was clearly winning that fight the whole time. And I think it was round 8, if I'm not mistaken. He got caught nasty with a left counter. And he got knocked the fuck out, like, pretty bad. That's his only, like, blemish. He did get knocked down. I forget the fighter's name. So he's got knocked down twice, technically, and knocked out once. Vergil Ortiz, him, same thing. Great volume. But the thing with him, he mixes his punches better. Great jab. The body punches I love. That's a big thing for me when I'm trying to look for, like, bets, especially, like, for KOs and things like that. The thing with him, he had a lot of issues like making weight because like he would get like sick, like his body would shut down. I forget the name. It's a crazy name for the disease or whatever. He had some type of blood disease, so he was forced to move up. So this is his second or third fight, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's his second at this weight. And I was watching that one fight with McKinson. That was his last fight at 147. And one thing that I noticed when I was watching Bohachuk's fight with Mendoza and Ortiz, Bohachuk was getting, like, that uppercut from Mendoza was there all night. He just didn't throw it enough. He finally started picking it up the last couple of rounds, and he caught him with the uppercut. Because Bohachuk has a high guard, but there's space in between. It's not, like, super tight. And plus, he's throwing a lot of volumes because you could easily counter him. Here, Vergil Ortiz uppercut is nasty. Like I said, all his punches, like everything, his hooks, he's got power in both hands. His liver shot is nasty. That body work I love. That's how he got McKinson down. Hurt him so bad the second time that he fell, he messed up his knee or ankle or something like that, and McKinson couldn't continue. So Dixon's asking 147. Wait a minute.
This is 154.
Yeah, this is 154. I was talking about the McKinson fight when he fought at 147, but like he used to have trouble making 147, so he had to make weight to 154. This is gonna be a war, bro. Like I know people. I already see a couple guys I respect, which I understand. Like they could see this fight going the distance, but I think that's kind of recency bias. A lot of people missed the boat. Like on my end. I thought that Mendoza was so super tough that there's a lot of value on that decision prop. This fight, I still question Bohachuk's chin, even though he's only been dropped twice, knocked out once. And Ortiz, is only his second or third fight at this weight class, but I see his punches like carrying, like his power. I think it's not gonna be early. I know a lot of his knockouts have been one round.
Yeah, right away.
Lately, it's been crazy. I think it's gonna be later. I'm with Mario Barrios in this one, and I saw 7 to 12. You know me and my 7 to 12s. It's like plus 240 or something. But for I'm just gonna say now, my best bet for this is gonna be Ortiz KO. It's minus 110, just to be on the safe side. That's only on Bet 365 so far. We might be lucky and get like plus 100, plus 105 at FanDuel. Usually they give a little bit better numbers. And then me, I might sprinkle a couple later props. He's only been over 8 rounds once, and that was in the McKinson fight. Vergil Ortiz is that, and I don't see how the styles, bro. I don't see how this fight goes the distance, bro. Like,
yeah, I completely agree. These lines make no sense to me at all. No distance is minus 200.
Like, we've seen Bohachuk knockdown. The only question is, but the question mark is Ortiz's durability at this weight class. He hasn't fought somebody like this in a minute. This is gonna be a true test, in my opinion. Like, I mean, I could see. You never know. You could see Bohachuk getting a knockout. I side with Vergil Ortiz, but if you want, minus 200 for no distance. I think that's a parlay piece in my opinion. It might be
Yeah,
later, but
I was shocked when I saw, because today was the first day they put like props up. I thought it was gonna be like 6.5, right there, pretty much even money. But yeah, so here's Dixon's.
bro, I actually agree with every leg Dixon. For sure, most punches Bohachuk. Most landed, I do side with Ortiz, but that might be the most sweatiest one. Ortiz for me will get the knockdown. Yep, and I like the over 6.5, and I think he gets it done later in the fight. Yeah, I love that. Plus 1,400.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no real disagreement for me there. But yeah, and my whole thing is, I mean, you look at both their records, who they fought, how they fight, and Vergil Ortiz isn't going to change how he fights. Like that's
Both
like
of them.
yeah. I mean, I'm just like I don't understand it at all because I think the last fight, thought maybe Delorme can box a little bit, give him some rounds because they're talking about
His
like
chin, his
that
chin's gone.
he wanted rounds. Then it was the first strong body punch just like killed him. So yeah, I like it a lot. I like the no distance. I was going to say under 9.5. I do side Vergil Ortiz, until he gets knocked out. Because I was even watching when he fought Mean Machine.
Yeah,
That old fight's on YouTube. You can watch it. And he was taking big shots, but, he was giving them right back to Mean Machine. Yeah, he broke Mean Machine. So I don't
knocked
think.
him down like, what, 4 times? And
Yeah.
So
I don't think Serhii here is gonna withstand that type of punishment and that power. I agree with you. I think the power will translate.
But I like how you brought that up because Ortiz does get hit.
Oh yeah. He got cracked a few times in that fight. Yeah.
I mean, Bohachuk does too, but I'm just saying like I want to see how good that chin is against this guy Bohachuk because he's got legit power. Dabby Cab, what's up?
Yeah. Shout out you, Cab. Yeah, I like it. I like Ortiz KO. I like the no distance. I'll probably give out under 9.5 for best bet, but yeah, I like it all.
I got 5 on it. Hell yeah, plus 7,000. I mean, shit. 10 wins you $700.
He had 2 knockdowns. Each guy to get knocked down.
I
could see it.
Yeah, it could happen. It could happen.
Especially because
the way this fight is.
And what we talked about last week is I didn't really, tape stay advanced. I think Dixon was in the chat saying Ortiz parlay piece. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of shocked. The odds are pretty close to this fight because Ortiz is usually a pretty big favorite.
See, I'm only scared just because, like I said, this is his biggest test at this weight class, like, by far. Like, when was the last guy he fought that was on Bohachuk's level? And these Ukrainians have been killing it lately.
Yeah, no, they had like Mean Machine. That's probably the last. Like,
yeah, I mean Mean Machine.
Yeah,
that's the only guy, really.
Yeah, he was gonna fight Tim Tszyu, but then that.
Oh my god! Well, I mean, we still got this fight, but that would have been a banger too.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I like it. I like it all. I think it's gonna be a very good fight and should be must watch Saturday. There are some other fights. I don't know if you looked into those at all, Danny. Luis Lopez is fighting again.
Yeah, it's the top rank.
Yeah, Leo, and then Lindolfo Delgado is fighting Brian Flores. Yep. If you have anything for those two.
These are for the hardcores, bro. Well, except the main event. I know at least some people should know who Lopez is. Dixon, you already know. Yeah, I sent this out to the Patreon already. So the Lopez fight versus Leo. Lopez, you already know him. His style is unique. Like he does a lot of punches from different angles. Like if you're like a boxing coach, you're like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Don't do that. But it works for him.
Yeah.
He's got legit power. he's athletic. You know, you don't know where these punches are coming from. Like, and Leo, bro, Leo, ever since he's moved up to this weight class, I think like 5 fights ago, he's been on a tear, and this kid's got potential for sure, man. And the thing, I'm gonna bring this up again. He throws a lot of volume. He's gonna be the bigger guy in this fight, and he loves to throw it to the body. Like, I'm talking about a lot, like a lot. Like, he'll spam hooks to the body when he gets a chance when he's in the pocket. And I think if he survives that first half of this fight, Leo's gonna be super live in this fight. I do not agree with the odds. Like, I got at plus 470. I think this should be like at least like Lopez maximum. I think he should be a minus 180, 200. Lopez favorite maybe. 12 rounder, and I think this is his first 12 rounder for Leo, and that's better for him. The way he builds up, he just keeps going, bro. Like, he's fought a bunch of 10 rounders, and he just pours it on you later on. And the body shots are going to slow down the momentum, and the weird ankles that Lopez does, in my opinion. So I think he's super live. So I took a shot on the money line for Leo on that one. The Delgado, I still got to dig in. I know Delgado a lot. He's, grew up on Top Rank. I cashed a couple of his tickets in his last couple fights. And the thing out of nowhere, he's been, like, in the beginning, he did a lot of decisions and stuff, and now lately he's been getting more power, like more pop in his punches. He's fighting a tough Mexican. I seen him fight a couple times. He's a big dude though for this weight class, but there's just too much. Delgado's too explosive in my opinion, and too quick with the hands and his jab. I think he gets it done. I just don't know if he gets the knockout because the guy he's fighting is undefeated. Tough Mexican, never been knocked out. I don't know. I gotta see the props. There's no props out for that fight, so we'll see. And there's a bunch of other little fights on the undercard that I'm looking at, but yeah, Dixon. Hopefully we get that underdog, man. We'll see. Plus 470. That's gonna be a nice little hit.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'd have to look into more Angelo Leo, but I definitely
his fights are easy to find. He fought at Pro Box TV on YouTube. You could just put it up, and the card that I went to a couple times in Florida.
Yeah, and I'm not. I don't want to say I'm a hater of Lopez, but I don't like him that much. So hopefully Leo gets it done for you guys. Boxing news? Any boxing news? The only thing I saw was they pretty much finalized the pay-per-view card for Canelo Berlanga. Looks pretty shitty. Danny
I know
Garcia,
it takes.
yeah.
So, I mean, I agree, but I know with you it takes so much to like impress you. But there was something else I saw, man, about another fight, but I just tend to forget.
Yeah, I mean, Rolly Romero's back. Yeah,
comment. This was hilarious. Going back to the Crawford card. I don't know if you saw Lomachenko and Shakur Stevenson were going at it.
Yeah, I saw on Twitter.
You do not see Lomachenko like that ever, ever.
Yeah.
And this, I posted it on Twitter or whatever, and I was kind of talking shit. I'm like, Stevenson's trying to find any way out of fighting Tank, and I forget who commented on it, but that shit had me dying. He's like, this motherfucker Stevenson does way more fighting outside the ring than in the ring.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's facts.
Yeah.
If it's not arguing with other fighters or arguing with everybody and their mama on Twitter, I mean, he's just looking for it, bro. It's hilarious. But yeah, hey, that's what's up. Narco's on the dog too. Let's get it.
Yeah, I feel like Stevenson's warned out his like welcome, or even the guys who liked him have like turned their back away from him because hard to justify those performances. He's just not. It's horrible, like the way he's fighting. Just like they give him layups and then they just leave him. They leave him and they boo him. But yeah, no. Like I said, the only thing I saw was they finalized that pay-per-view card. Caleb Plant's on there, Rolly Romero, and then
they did move that one. Yeah.
Danny Garcia is gonna fight Lara. So
That's a good one. I mean, there's some good fights. There's some good fights. It's not as because you say shitty. We've seen way worse than that. Caleb Plant's on it. Yeah, his opponent's not the best, but
I just don't want to see Rolly Romero fight like ever again. Yeah.
He's just entertaining when it comes to the press conference and shit, doing dumb shit. And he could get knocked out. That's a highlight. And then that Laura Garcia fight, I'm actually, hyped on.
Yeah. Well, Danny Garcia needs a good win too. I feel like he's been MIA for a minute.
He had a good win in his last fight, but he was dealing with a lot of like mental, depression and shit like that or whatever. So, remember he won that fight and then he gave like a crazy speech. It was wild. I'm like, damn, that's what's up. Like he opened up a lot, but it's okay card. Like,
yeah.
And Berlanga, I don't know if you've been seeing the conferences already.
Canelo should knock this guy out. Like, easy.
Are we gonna lose money again with Canelo?
I know, but like he should knock this guy out.
I think so too.
Easy.
Body shot.
Yeah, easy.
Body shot. I think it's the body, but yeah, you ain't catching me. When I am biased, which is really super rare, I will tell you. Like, yeah, Berlanga's Puerto Rican. I give two shits. He's not beating Canelo. Like,
no, he has no chance.
It's just is it getting a knockout or decision? I think because we've seen Berlanga. We'll talk about that later, but we've seen Berlanga knocked down before.
Yeah.
Oh, what? I didn't see what Winner Circle said. Facts. He said facts. Then he ready to go back and forth and yep. Facts, man. I'm telling you, he don't like getting hit. Like Shakur, like ever since he started stepping up in competition, bro. You saw what he said after the fight where Hovanagian, whatever his name is, he literally said, "That guy, he hits hard, man." Like, what? Like,
yeah.
You're complaining about his power? Oh God, you're gonna get fucked up.
Yeah. We'll see what happens when Shakur fights, Tank. He won't fight Tank, so we'll see. Mario said Canelo got him during the press conference. Yeah, I like Canelo. I think she just fought, right?
No, she's not gonna be on that card, Dixon. Or am I missing something? That card's pretty stacked for PFO. I don't know if you saw P. I'm going next week to the PFO card on Friday, but I don't think she's on it. I'm pretty sure she.
Yeah, she just fought, so I doubt.
Yeah, she literally just fought.
Yeah, but yeah. Well, the other thing, Munguia got a fight. I saw that.
Yeah, that one too.
Yeah, he's fighting in September, so that should be. He looked good. He did look good against Canelo, so won't discredit him there.
Yeah, it's one of those pretty much everybody that fights Tank Davis, their stock goes up. It's the same thing. Sometimes with Canelo, like Munguia, even though he lost.
Yeah,
his stock is still going up, and he's still young. He's like 25, I think.
Yeah. Danny, do you have anything else you want to add before we get into best bets? Any info or anything?
Not that I could remember, but I know September, October. Obviously, we got the Bivol fight coming up, and November. Obviously the whole Jake Paul and Tyson. But I'm really waiting for that Serrano and Taylor fight rematch.
Yeah, that one should be very good. That being said, we'll get right into it for best bets. Danny, I'll let you have the floor here to start us off.
Yeah, so far I haven't officially put a bet in yet, but I do think the best bet to go for this one is to play a Sevens minus 110, maybe plus 100 for the KO for Ortiz. I do think he gets it later. Like I said, he's only been to the 9th round once, or 8th round, 9th round I think it was. But yeah, I think it is around there. I know the over under is minus 9.5. I think that's pretty much spot on. If I had a pick, I think it's under, and he gets him out of there like round 9-10. But we'll see, man. Ortiz got he's had this hype for a while, so if he gets a good knockout highlight on this this opponent, that's gonna be a statement. So I'm hoping for that. Bohachuk is not no bum. He's definitely live in this fight. Like that's why I was a little cautious on the whole parlay his money line. I'm personally staying away from that, but I think he gets it done by knockout. Ortiz.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it like a little safer. I'll take the under 9.5 minus 125. I just can't see this fight not ending. TKO stoppage, cut
Pay the juice,
stoppage.
no distance.
Yeah, I don't
You
mind that
could minus
either.
200.
Yeah, that's not bad. I just don't understand. You watch how these guys fight; they both get hit. They get hit like hard, and from what I've seen, Ortiz's power has translated. And yeah, we'll see how Bohachuk's body can take those body blows
Yeah.
because everyone else one shot they go down like nothing. So we'll see. Dixon's asking if they hit like heavyweights. They should have all knockouts. Like
Yeah. I mean, I
yeah,
wouldn't go that far. Heavyweights, I mean, heavyweights are heavyweights, but they definitely got popped, bro. Like, just watch when you watch the fight, put the volume up. You're gonna hear that shit. It's
yeah.
pop. That's how you know. You hear that nice little leather. Big Show, the birthday boy's here.
Yeah, shout out Big Show, happy birthday.
Say sup. What is it? 25? 25 years old. You know, that's a young 25.
Those were the days.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Yeah, that'll be it for me. Like I said, give me the under 9.5. I think someone's going to go put to sleep. Like Danny said, yeah, I think no distance for the parlay boys makes all the sense in the world for me too.
Oh, girls.
Yeah, yeah. If we have any women watching,
Hey,
Kelsey, where are you at?
She got my TikTok. She got the Twitter and everything. I'm like, might be. I don't know. I still think it's fake though.
More than likely. Danny, anything you want to add to the chat or anything you got before we get on out of here?
No, hit that like, subscribe button if you're new. Comment with your predictions for these fights. He said, Big Show said 39. That's what's up. Hey, not 40 yet. So they always come. Dixon 36. You're on my age. I'm 35. They said every 5 years that's when you start really feeling the effects, which it's fucking true for me. It has been 25, 30, 35. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, smash that like button. Like you can follow me everywhere. Danny Betts with 2 Z's. If you're interested with the Patreon, join the crew. We chop up fights there in the chat and live bet and things like that. So, and Saturday, you already know, UFC live stream with the boys. Check us out. Same thing, live bets, giving you the best, props or insta props or money lines or whatever, or parlays. If you don't see us on Twitter, so we'll see. Should be a good time.
Like everything Danny said there, if you guys could give us a like, drop a comment down below. Any picks you have for this weekend. UFC's this weekend. The guys will be live tonight for the Locker Room podcast off a nice undefeated week for, I don't know the fight this week.
Spivak and Tybura.
Spivak, Tybura. That's the fight this weekend. Make sure to tune into that. That'll be this week. Next week's a big week. There's a big UFC pay-per-view. Join Locker Room Talk podcast tonight, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that'll be it for us, guys. We'll be back next week. We'll break down, I believe it's Derevyanchenko.
Yeah, and Billy.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week to break down those fights for you. That will do it for us, guys. This was the main event, Talkin Hands. See you guys.